was it like living in that moment?
I think the hardest thing about it, honestly, was seeing the way that the other artists in the music industry would distance themselves from me publicly, that I was only welcome in secret. And I think over time I just got tired of it.
Iggy Azalea just flipped her whole narrative again. Imagine the girl the industry once crowned and then quietly ghosted, turning around and building a money printing machine out of thin air. Life-changing OnlyFans checks, a headline-grabbing Solana meme coin called Mother, and a primetime Nightline sit-down where she drops calm little grenades about fame, money, and power. Tonight, we're pulling the curtain on the reinvention of Iggy, how she went from chart topper to crypto entrepreneur, how a private health battle intersected with her biggest bag, the truth she now admits about the black scent era, and what her million-a-month partner standard says about her next chapter.
Millions of dollars to people that I signed bad business deals with in the beginning.
God.
Sometimes you don't know you're getting because you're like, it feels so good, and they're actually you. I love it. I love it. Because when you've been poor, any money or a lot of money, still making a lot of money, you're like, this is everything I dreamed. Why would I ever question this? And then you find out later, actually, the money that if you made $15 million that year, if you weren't getting 50, you would have made 40. But it feels so good. I chose to be a white woman and come and be in a black space. That was my choice. And I did feel very welcome, to be honest with you. I think it got a little bit more complicated as time went on and we had a moment politically and in culture where I was a part of a bigger picture. Yeah, I think it was a lot, you know, and I said things that I shouldn't have said in retrospect as I've gotten older. Then I'm like, that's a horrible take that you had. But it was just a bad, perfect storm where you've got someone that's, I have my limited view of America or culture, and I'm in the middle of these very heated, controversial conversations and very political, and I'm also 23, 24 during this, and so I think I know everything.
What do you regret about how you handled that time?
I think sometimes I just regret having an opinion at all because it wasn't necessarily my place to have.
As we go, I'll give you the tea fans are whispering on socials, what's real, what's rumored, and what it means. Before we dive in, smash that like button, subscribe if you love high-drama deep dives that actually cite receipts, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Iggy's mother move genius? Reckless, or both? We'll keep receipts flowing and questions open because with Iggy, the room keeps spinning just the way she likes it. And yes, we're going there. The insider trading chatter, the co-parenting shade, the Miami pretty privilege discourse, and the industry friends who suddenly stopped picking up her calls. Buckle up! Let's start with the pivot everyone's talking about. Iggy on ABC's Nightline, not rapping, but rebranding. In that interview, she lays it out she walked away from finishing her album and from the hamster wheel of streaming-era pop because the power she wanted wasn't in the studio anymore, it was in owning the concept, the aesthetic, and the revenue stack.
Go so far.
Same with women, looks can only go so far. Especially if you live in Miami. Everyone in Miami is really pretty, so it's like at one point, I noticed that when I was doing Motherland and I was auditioning all the girls, and they were all really beautiful. And like I said, there's about 50 of them, but some of them, particularly some of the most beautiful ones, when you put them on camera, it's like they didn't know how to talk or have a personality because they're just used to their looks doing the work for them. And then when you actually put them in an environment to talk, some of them are just like, I'm like, how do you end up with that for your whole life? It would be really boring.
She says the industry that boosted her also iced her out artists who'd greet her in private but distanced themselves in public, so she took back control and found a lane where virality equals equity. That's the play. Turn attention into an asset you own. If that feels like a twist ending to the Iggy story, it's not. It's a mid-credits scene. The bigger twist is what she does next. Fuse internet-scale spectacle with builder-level operations. Fans thought she'd crawl back to music for validation. Instead, she's building things that pay while the timeline talks. That's not a comeback, it's a corporate action. Receipts on the retirement. Her January 2024 post spelled it out. She felt more passionate about design and creative direction than songwriting and wasn't finishing the album. People read it as her drawing a line in the sand. The tea beneath the headline? Off camera, there's the ache of being welcome only in secret, which she said was the hardest part watching peers duck the smoke in public. That doesn't just bruise, it informs strategy. If the gate is chilly, build your own door. And she did.
Would you ever date anyone that makes less than you?
Yeah, you can make a little bit less than me, but here's my feeling. Like, I would really like it to be 50-50, like if we bought a house or we had a mortgage or things like that.
You'd still pay?
Well, I think we should, the minimum should be that we both equally contribute. So with that being said, I wouldn't really want to like downgrade my life that I can pay for on my own to, you know what a lot of the times I think it can be emasculating in my experience, because I've gone on dates with men that earn a lot less, and then it gets weird.
Yeah, because then you're doing shit that they can't and stuff. I feel like,
so I think it's a bit of a weird predicament, but my ideal would just be that if we can, like, if you could afford the same lifestyle that I can afford, to where we can be 50-50 in that, then that would work.
50-50 is crazy. A lot of girls say that the man should pay for everything.
Yeah, I know a lot of people feel that way. I think if someone wants to do that, that's good, but otherwise I think you're kind of, it's like very hard to find someone that you have a connection with, so I don't think you should like box yourself out by financially like obscuring yourself first.
It's hard, you're already narrowing down a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why the retirement reads differently now, not as an exit, but a stealth mode to incubate products under her creative direction. Think about how many stars have tried this and stalled at brand deal. Iggy took the same raw material attention and ran it through a different machine: equity, tokenomics, and platform ownership. Was it risky? Of course. But to her, being frozen out by fickle cosigns was riskier. That's why the fans who stuck around are loud right now. They're watching a narrative inversion in real time, from industry dependent to distribution independent. Now, the bag that made everyone spit out their iced coffee, OnlyFans. The rumor mill shouted $48, $50, million. On Nightline, she basically smirked and said it was a little lower, but still life-changing, while revealing she did it through a health crisis that most of us never saw. She had severe nerve damage that spiraled into an infection and a PICC line, yes, while still publishing content because the checks were seeding future businesses.
I think the hardest thing, honestly, to find is someone that's like intelligent and smart, but also fucking really hilarious.
True.
Because sometimes funny people just they're too chaotic, or they do shit that's too dumb, or really smart people, they're boring as fuck, and you're like, God, can I shake a little ass on the yacht, sir? You know?
Have you been to a gun range before?
Only one time in my entire life.
Are you good at shooting?
I was better than the person I was with.
Oh, shit.
And they have a lot of guns and I have none. So maybe I was like, if there's a home invasion, I might be the person that needs to do the shooting.
Have you ever been to a gun range before?
That's not scandal. That's ruthless composure. Here's the twist. The health story reframes the OF era not just thirst trap economics, but a war chest phase where she banked, invested, and kept the cameras rolling while fighting a private battle. And it paid. Being among the platform's highest earners gave her the capital to take big swings later without begging a label for tour support. Is some of the $48 million talk inflated? She says yes, but the strategy tracks. Turn subscription cash into launch fuel. On socials, you see the split. Critics still clutch pearls. Stans call it quiet luxury grind set. Either way, the money was very real and very directional. Enter Mother. If the OnlyFans era was capital accumulation, Dollar Mother was the attention engine reboot. She launched it on Solana, and within weeks, the fully diluted value hit that infamous $240 million moment, pure speculative heat. Today, it sits much smaller, cycling like every meme coin does. Translation: this is crypto's roller coaster, not a savings bond. The upside? Viral momentum. The downside? Volatility and reputational exposure if the vibe flips. She tried to do what every successful meme coin needs: keep the narrative alive so the community doesn't evaporate when price softens. Love it or hate it, the move did what it was supposed to, made Iggy Azalea a finance Twitter keyword and funneled attention back into her ecosystem. If you're wondering whether Mother is a meme or a model, the boring answer is both. It's a meme with creator equity logic under it. Watch the market, but watch the integrations more. Now, the messy chatter, and we'll keep it labeled. Rumor lane. Some crypto sleuths alleged insider trading style allocations during Mother's early spike. Important note, allegations are not verdicts, and this space thrives on hopium and gotcha threads. But perception matters. Crypto traders hate feeling like exit liquidity. Fans hate feeling played. The speculation narrative usually tracks 3 beats: an eye-popping pump, wallets tagged as insiders by anonymous accounts, and a price retrace that fuels "we told you so." In Iggy's case, the timing made her an easy target, a polarizing pop star flipping to crypto during a mania window. She's kept the line focused on building utility and keeping Mother culturally loud, which is the only real defense in meme land: ship, integrate, surprise. If you're trading it, risk management is your friend. If you're just watching the spectacle, congrats, you're the actual product. And that's the deeper T. In this game, celebrity is a protocol, and the audience is the liquidity. Let's talk about the chapter she now addresses head-on, the Black Scent era, and the culture wars that made Iggy a lightning rod. In the recent reflections, she admits she had some horrible takes in her early 22nd and says sometimes she regrets speaking at all when it wasn't her place. That's not spin, that's a recalibration. For years, critics argued that her voice and posture rode a line between homage and appropriation. She says she chose to be a white woman in a black space, felt welcome at first, and then the discourse shifted suddenly. She was a symbol in a bigger fight. What's different now is tone. Less defensiveness, more I hear it. The fan split is still there. Some say too late, others say growth is growth. But the savvy part is how she reframes the topic inside her new entrepreneur-era voice. Less I deserve, more here's what I learned. Whether you buy it or not, that tone is how you de-weaponize an old narrative. Acknowledge, adjust, move on with receipts of changed behavior, not just captions. Relationships? The Playboy Cardi saga isn't her headline anymore, but the subtext shapes everything. She's publicly said she's very much the only parent to their son Onyx firm, succinct, and not performatively messy. That choice, keep motherhood clear, keep the music industry drama behind glass, fits the control theme. It also explains her viral million-a-month man standard, not gold digger energy, but parity. If she's paying her own way at a luxury tier, she wants a partner who can meet her where she lives, not be destabilized by it. Fans argue, is that unrealistic? Maybe for most, but that's the point, she's not dating most. The rumor circuit will always try to plug specific names into that template. The smarter read is structural. She's curating energy that won't resent her grind. The Cardi era taught her to reject chaos and choose competence, someone funny and brilliant, without the genius but reckless tax. Fewer yachts as apology arcs, more shared calendars and contribution. That's a quieter flex. And it reads, the Miami moment, this clip won't die because it hits a nerve. She said, basically, looks can only carry you so far, and some of the most beautiful women she auditioned for her Motherland concept didn't have on-camera presence. TikTok ate it up, Instagram amplified it, and the takes flew. Empowering honesty versus pretty policing. From a creator-operator lens, she was making a point about talent stack. In a city where everyone's gorgeous, personality is the differentiator. It also functions as brand positioning for her next phase, curation over clout. She's signaling that she's choosing collaborators who can talk, improvise, and sell the story, not just the selfie. If you zoom out, the same thesis explains why Mother had a moment. She understands how to mint conversation, not just covers. And every viral debate keeps her top of mind while her companies mature. You can dislike the delivery and still clock the strategy. In a feed-based economy, controversial but coherent is sometimes the most efficient ad spend. Beyond the coin, there's an actual product stack forming. Dream Vault the gifting, marketplace crowdfunding mashup she's teased, fits neatly with a fan base that wants to participate, not just purchase. Then there's Unreal Mobile, the MVNO she's co-founding, which is wild until you remember how many creators quietly own slices of telecom and fintech plays. What's smart is the laddering. Creator capital to crypto attention to consumer platforms that live outside the Twitter cycle. If Dreamvault fuels fan-funded projects and Unreal captures recurring revenue, she's building annuities, not one-time pops. That's how you survive the meme winter. The rumors here are less salacious, more strategic, that she's lining up partnerships to snap utility onto Mother, so it's not just a ticker. If she lands even one sticky integration, the narrative shifts from stunt to system. That's the chessboard she's playing on while the timeline argues about her accent. So where does this go? The old Iggy playbook radio single, summer tour, tabloid romance doesn't fit anymore. The new playbook is asymmetric. Television hits like Nightline to launder narrative and reach normies. Crypto cycles to harvest attention and liquidity, product launches to trap value, and selective vulnerability to keep fans invested. She's not bulletproof, no one navigating culture wars and crypto headwinds is, but she's unusually transparent about the trade-offs, and that transparency is the moat. The gossip will keep churning. Coin allegations, dating theories, industry frenemies. The antidote isn't clapbacks, it's shipping. If she keeps shipping features for Dream Vault, perks that tie Mother to in real-life experiences, mobile offers that actually undercut the big guys, then the story stabilizes around outcomes, not optics. And if the past year taught us anything, it's that Iggy Azalea can make the internet talk. The question is whether she can make it pay forever. My money, she's betting the same as you, that in this era, owning distribution is the only fame that lasts.